Tory Nichols. Now, her and Kreese have had probably the best sort of relationship since we've seen them together in Cobra Kai. Now, if you notice in season 6, there kind of is like a Star Wars moment where, you know, how Obi-Wan was like, that boy was our last hope. And Yoda's like, no, there is another. But we have the Cobra Kai version with John Kreese, where he was like, Johnny was the last hope. And then he's like, no, there is another. So that other is there's one more. And that is, of course, Tory Nichols. And I feel like she is the new and improved Johnny Lawrence to Sensei Kreese. And this is why he's always been kind of moving the threads in the background with her, and, you know, carefully, kind of like Palpatine almost. But I would say being there for her and stuff through all of the turmoil that she went through at home. And now that she felt shunned by the LaRussos, which to me was weird because Mrs. LaRusso was like super close with Tory, and I feel like she would have like checked up on her or called her or something like that after that. And who's to say she didn't? I don't know. We didn't get to see that. But, you know, it would be nice if we saw like a scene of that and there was like a, you know, rejected call, or she mentioned I tried calling her or showing up and she wasn't there. But anyways, regardless, John Kreese and Tory Nichols are like literally John Kreese and Johnny Lawrence in the 80s, but just now the new version. And it makes total sense that she went right to Sensei Kreese. I think that they had a connection that, you know, like a father figure that she didn't have in her life. And I think that Kreese filled that sort of role for Johnny when he was a lot more, you know, crazy and flawed. Whereas now he's much more refined and much more soft in the sense where he knows how to be more of a dad with, you know, learning from the failures that he made with Johnny. And I think that this is what he's doing with Tory, and kind of like how Obi-Wan failed with Anakin, he's trying to redo that with Luke. And I think that's exactly what's going on. And it's just funny that, you know, she's blonde, Johnny's blonde, and you just kind of see the poetry and how it rhymes and the parallels. And so that's why I think, you know, the big three, the guys who wrote this, John, Josh, and Hayden, they really think about stuff, and they take a lot of inspiration, I think, from many different media and movies that they like, and the themes in that. And what I like to theorize on is Star Wars, and it's like poetry, it rhymes. And so, you know, he's got a thing for training blondes. That's his thing. He's like, you're blonde? All right, you're my new student. You're number one. And, you know, he truly, I think, cares for Tory. And I think we're going to see something pretty wild at the end of the Sekai Taikai. I think Kreese is probably... something's going to happen to Kreese. He's going to have a redemption arc. There's no way that he's not. We can go into this in another video. So, as for Tory joining him, I think that she's going to be completely loyal. I do feel like she is a little bit conflicted in some sense, so she might be able to be called back, but he will always be that lingering figure in her ear to kind of tell her, hey, remember what they did to you. I've always been here for you, and I'll accept you the way you are and support you. And so that's how Kreese plays. He's, you know, he's very methodical. He's literally Palpatine in a sense. So I think that Tory's going to have a great career going with Kreese, but something is going to happen where the enemy of my enemy is my friend, and the enemy, the bigger bad, which I think could be Silver, could come into the mix, and Kreese and Daniel and Johnny will have to team up together. Something will happen. I truly don't think that the Sekai Taikai will be the end of the show. I think it'll end, and then the third season, or the third part of it in 2025, that's where the crazy shit probably happens. So I think it's going to be interesting. But as for Tory, yeah, I don't think she's ever going back to Daniel and Johnny. I think she's going to stay with Kreese, but they're going to all end up joining forces to take down an even bigger threat, perhaps. So we'll see what happens there. That's the future of Tory Nichols. And now that she, you know, lost her mom, sadly, she is going to be fully devoted to Sensei Kreese, because he's like the father figure she never had. So that's my thoughts on that. Let me know what you think about Tory and where she's going to go from here. I think she's a super interesting character, and I'm glad that she's with Kreese, because now she can actually have the drama and dynamic and the full potential kind of exercised through Kreese and Kreese's training. No mercy. Have a great day.